GCSE Media Studies, Component 2, Understanding Media Forms and Products. This is a 1 hour 30-minute exam. Additional materials. In addition to this paper, you will need audio-visual resource for use with Section A, and this will be provided in the exam itself. Instructions to candidates. Use black ink or black ballpoint pen. Do not use gel pen. Do not use correction fluid. Answers to all questions must be written in the answer book. Write your name, centre number and candidate number in the spaces at the top of the page. At the end of the examination, the answer book must be handed to the invigilator. Answer all questions in Section A on the set television genre you have studied, crime drama or sitcom. Answer all questions in Section B on the set music topic you have studied. Information for candidates. The allocation of marks is given at the end of each question or part question. The number of marks indicates the length of the response required. You are advised to spend approximately 50 minutes on Section A, including viewing the television extract, and approximately 40 minutes on Section B. You should use relevant subject-specific terminology and relevant theories where appropriate. Question 3 requires an extended response. You will be assessed on the quality of your written response, including the ability to construct and develop a sustained line of reasoning which is coherent, relevant, substantiated and logically structured. Section A. Television. Crime drama. Answer all questions in both sections. View the extract from Luther. You will be allowed 2 minutes to read through the questions in Section A. The extract will be shown twice. First viewing, watch the extract and make notes. You will then have 6 minutes to make further notes. Second viewing, watch the extract and make further notes. You will then have approximately 1 hour 15 minutes to complete both sections of the examination. After viewing the extract, use your notes to answer questions 1 and 2.
Joel!
Give me your wife's address.
What way?
I'll stay on there, make sure she's okay. You take down Alice Morgan.
What's on you, boss? Camera's in the dog. Because she needs it. Alice?
That will be mine.
Hello, Alice.
Do you know why the gun fragments in that urn can never be used as evidence against me? 1, the cremation melted away their forensic value. Because those ovens burn very, very hot. 2, you could never prove that I ever knew the gun was in there, let alone that I so much as touched it. And 3, most dazzlingly, you broke into my apartment and stole it. In the process, you committed a crime that will cost your job. So, congratulations. Well done.
I know that. This urn, this isn't evidence. This is what you need to remind yourself of who you really are. That's why you followed me. I know you. I see you.
And you think that I'm that weak?
Yes.
And you don't know me at all.
Okay.
No, John, no!
Stay away from Zoe!
Is this what you did to Henry Madsen? So go on. Kiss me. Kill me. Do something.
Here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna stay away from my wife, or I'm gonna arrest someone else for the murder of your parents. Oh yeah, by the time he's found guilty, you'll have been forgotten about. There will be no enigma with Alice Morgan at the heart of it. No one will wonder how you did it. No one will think how clever you were. I'll just plant the evidence. I don't need the gun.
You'd degrade the law you serve just to protect some woman who cast you aside like offal.
In a second.
And you think I'm a monster? Love is supposed to dignify us, exalt us. How can it be love, John, if all it does is make you lonely and corrupt? Answer the question. Don't turn your back on me.
Media language. Question 1A. Explore the connotations of the costume of two characters in the extract. And this is worth 8 marks. And here's my answer. Luther is dressed shabbily with his shirt unbuttoned and his tie loose. This connotes that he isn't concerned with his appearance only being the best at his job. By contrast, Alice is quite smartly dressed, but she is wearing dark clothing. This has connotations of her sense of vanity and evil. The smartness reflects her vanity and the dark clothing reflects her evil. Alice's clothing also makes her look quite masculine, since she is wearing dark trousers and a jacket. Murder is stereotypically regarded as a male act. Luther's wedding ring is also important as he puts it back on, even though his marriage is over. This is to show Alice that he'd protect his soon-to-be ex-wife even though they aren't together anymore. This connotes Luther's sense of honour and morality. The excerpt seems heavily influenced by the film noir genre, which is a part of the crime genre but has a negative worldview. This connotation of film noir is clear because, like in Luther, the heroes are depicted as shabbily dressed and mostly outwitted by the glamorous femme fatale. Femme fatales are usually represented with their hair covering half their face, and Alice is represented the same way. And that got the full 8 marks. B. How far are the characters in the extract typical of the genre? Explore 2 characters, and this is worth 12 marks. My answer. If we begin by applying Propp's theory of character types, it is certainly typical overall to the crime drama genre. In the extract, there is a battle of wits between both the hero, Luther, and the villain, Alice. This conflict between heroes and villains is commonplace within the genre. However, in terms of race and gender, and expectations in terms of what will happen in the clip, the excerpt and series as a whole is quite interesting. Traditionally in crime dramas, the white hero would usually win against the villain, who would also usually be male. But in this case the villain is a woman, and outsmarts the black hero. Both the hero being outsmarted by the villain and the villain being female are certainly not typical of the genre. However, traditional heroes aren't black in crime dramas either. Usually when there are any black characters in crime dramas, they are usually stereotyped as villains or the sidekick to the hero. Nonetheless, overall the extract could be seen as typical of more modern examples of the crime drama genre. Luther manages to use his cleverness in working out that Alice kept the gun in the urn, but Alice is equally clever in that she knows the gun is inadmissible as evidence, since she deliberately planted the gun inside the dog she killed, knowing that it would be cremated along with the dog. Both play against people's prejudices regarding black people and women in general, and that got the full 12 marks. Media context. Question 2. How do crime dramas or sitcoms reflect the time in which they are made? Refer to examples you have studied to support your response. And this is worth 10 marks. And here's my answer. Most forms of media cannot help but reflect the time in which they were made. Luther is a modern crime drama, and this means it exists during a period in history where there is not so much inequality in society in terms of gender or race. By contrast, The Sweeney was made during a time when both black people and women were struggling to achieve equal rights in society. Since The Sweeney was made first, it is best that we start there before discussing how time had moved on by the time Luther was made. By modern standards, The Sweeney is politically incorrect. Political incorrectness is when someone or something is possibly offensive in terms of their attitude towards gender, race or disabilities. Throughout the clip there are images of both scantily clad and naked women on the walls of both the villain's garage and hideout. In one particular scene, one of the garage workers talks about two women stripping off and how they don't half like it for... He then takes a camera and pretends to take photos of the pictures of naked women pinned to the wall in the garage. By modern standards, the fact that a character in a TV programme could be so casually sexist without another character criticising them for it is unthinkable. Unfortunately, this scene truly reflects the time in which the programme was made, because sexism was more or less acceptable in British society. By contrast, Luther is a politically correct show that reflects the political correctness of modern Britain. How men and women treat each other in Luther is dependent on their behaviour regardless of their background. Luther is treated with respect by his colleagues, and he too shows professionalism to those around him, even suspects. Women are virtually absent from episodes of The Sweeney, except as either someone's bird or another minor plot device, and that got the full 10 marks. Section B. Music. Representations. Use the two set music videos you have studied from the list below in your answer to question 3. These will be Bad Blood by Taylor Swift and Freedom by Pharrell Williams. Question 3. Music videos reinforce stereotypes of ethnicity. How far is this true of the two music videos you have studied? And this is worth 20 marks. In your response, you must 1. Explore representations of ethnicity in the two music videos you have studied. 2. Refer to relevant media contexts such as social or cultural. 3. Consider whether you agree or disagree with the statement. And here's my answer. Overall, the statement could be said to be true about the Bad Blood music video, but not about the Freedom music video. Bad Blood features Taylor Swift, whom is represented as a white, idealised female, blonde, blue-eyed and slim. She also wears figure-hugging or revealing clothes, so it could be argued that she represents herself in a manner which reinforces the stereotype that white people are inherently sexy, powerful and beautiful. In a perverse way, and this isn't her fault, she has the look considered perfect by the Nazis, blonde hair and blue eyes. Similarly, black male rapper Kendrick Lamar is dressed in an equally stereotypical manner given his gender and race. Sunglasses, cap, hoodie and sports car, to name just a few signifiers of stereotyping. However, given that this dress code is somewhat typical of rappers in general, it is only fair to say that Lamar is willingly allowing himself to fall within the stereotype rather than allowing Swift to represent him stereotypically without his knowledge or consent. Furthermore, both Swift and Lamar are represented as equals in terms of power. This reflects the contemporary context in that in today's society, and certainly within celebrity culture, rappers and singers like Swift are more or less equal in terms of the power they have as celebrities. Lamar's contribution is clearly valued by Swift, and this sense of equality seems to be indicated through the use of split screen. However, by having Swift all dressed in white and Lamar all dressed in black, the music video represents each of them in binary opposition, especially when it uses split screen. It could be argued that, since the both colours white and black relate so closely to race, the music video is accidentally playing into a stereotype. White is an idealised colour in society, whilst black is considered negative. Undoubtedly, there are two definite stereotypes in the video, one of which is the Asian character Trinity, whom is represented as an expert in technology. It is a well-known stereotype that Asian people are considered smart and hard-working. So whilst the stereotype isn't necessarily negative as such, it is if an entire race is simplified in such a way. By contrast, Williams' Freedom music video is generally stereotype free. This is perhaps because he is making a video explicitly about how everyone should have freedom. The video includes diverse representations of ethnicity with sensitivity. For example, ethnic minorities with specific religious beliefs, such as the close-up of the woman in the hijab. This is reflective of contemporary cultural context because women in hijabs have been unfairly criticised and demonised, as have Muslims in general in the media since 9/11. This video actively includes this Muslim woman, as it does with all races represented in the video, as part of its desire for freedom. However, given the white slave master whom acts violently towards the black slaves in the video, Williams seems to at least implicitly link the oppression of most races with the violent actions of white men. In all fairness, this is a reasonable but unfortunate reflection of human history, since white people as a race have been the most oppressive ever. Not only that, but white people are shown positively through the bird's eye view of unity between races, regardless of colour, joining hands. One possible issue in relation to insensitivity rather than stereotyping is the representation of a key moment of the Tiananmen Square massacre in Lego form. It could be argued that the actual footage of the man bravely standing up to a tank would have been far more appropriate to use, especially given the inspirational power it has. And Williams actually undermines the inspirational message he's obviously hoping to communicate by doing this. In conclusion, Bad Blood does fall foul of stereotyping race, but does so almost by accident. No race is demonised, but the idea that the woman that betrays her is black, and that the lazy if positive stereotype that Asian people are extremely clever, are both certainly clumsy representations. Williams clearly goes out of his way to avoid stereotypes, as we have discussed, so in no way could the charge of stereotyping apply to his video. And that got the full 20 marks. Media industries. Question 4. Explain why websites are important to the music industry. Refer to the official Katy Perry website or the official Taylor Swift website to support your response. And this is worth 10 marks. And here's my answer. Websites are important because the internet is by far the most used media platform amongst the young, whom are also the music industry's target audience. Crucially, Swift's website has links to all the social media websites, such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube and Tumblr, of which she is obviously a user of herself. This allows her to both seem normal to her fans, since they use social media too. This also allows her to promote her image and therefore increases awareness of upcoming products and therefore increases sales of her goods. In essence, Swift's website is important to both her and the music industry, as it acts as the central hub from which her fans, whom are also, most important of all, customers, can access material from her, such as vlogs, etc. Not only can they buy her merchandise, as sold through the online store, but they can also buy her music through iTunes through a link. Perhaps the most important selling point of the website to fans is the promise of intimacy with their idol. The idea that self-styled superstars like Taylor Swift are just like other girls and are therefore approachable add to their appeal tenfold. This promise of intimacy is explicitly offered in the About section of the website, in which visitors are invited to get to know Taylor on Tumblr. In conclusion, websites are very important to the music industry because they are all interlinked to one another and are a crucial part of their business model, since all of them give fans opportunity to part with their pocket money fast. And that got the full 10 marks. And that is the full exam.